Coming up on verse, chorus, verse. Hey, I'm alone. I'm talking about albums again. Happy times. That's next. Verse, chorus, universe. How you doing? I am DL. I'm doing wonderfully. It's a Saturday. I'm hanging out, enjoying some time, listening to music. Speaking of which, I'm not listening to music right now. Hang on. That's ridiculous. How's everybody doing? We having fun? Yeah. Are you glad that the podcast is back? Trying to do two things at once. It's not working out very well, but I'm doing all right. I'm living on the edge. It's there. Music is there. Have you noticed the douchey sunglasses that I've incorporated this season? Yeah, you know why? So I have reflective sunglasses. I have 3 different pairs that I'm going to wear, and I don't care how douchey it looks. But the problem is I don't like having to depend on my notes so much. And when I wear the sunglasses, I have to concentrate to look at my notes. What I have found in podcasting, and it only took me 5 years, is that it gets really easy to rely on your notes and not trust what's in your head. So you end up just sitting there staring at your notes the whole time, talking about, hey, so this happened this happened then, this happened then. Oh, that person just said something. I remember something about that. Let me find it in my notes. If you don't rely on your notes, you remember all that stuff. What did we talk about last week? We talked about the Rush album. You don't need to look in here to see why the album cover is crap. Let me remember why the album cover... No, I just remember it's moving pictures with moving pictures on a moving picture from moving pictures. Stuff like that. You get really into that. You don't need your notes when you love the music, right? Right. This way, yeah, sure. I have to do a little glance every now and then, get a couple facts about what went platinum, what didn't go platinum. But other than that, I'm just talking to you. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Rolling Stone lists, the 500 albums and the 500 songs, their greatest of all time. I never got past, I think, like 400 when we were originally covering this. I do not think that the album list is that bad. Grain of salt. I'm not going to be too happy with them. It's hard to mess up a 500 album list. Everything's going to be on it. I'm sure that there's a couple that were wondering, what the hell? Why isn't this on it? Things like that. But overall, you're going to pretty much, you're not going to miss in utero if you have a list of 500 albums. The songs, on the other hand, man, the song list is atrocious, right? And we all very much know it. I should probably record my audio, huh? Oh, DL. Oh, silly DL. It's okay. Another thing that I've learned, this is going to be our podcasting 101 episode for all of you people that are going to eventually start a podcast, because everybody at some point does start a podcast. Don't start a podcast. It's stupid and insane. But always have backups on your backups on your backups of recording. The last episode we did, we were saved by our... Let's see, I have Hindenburg, I have Riverside, I have my audio from the whole team's Riverside. Backup is what saved us on one person's specific audio in our last episode. So have backups on your backups. If you're going to do a podcast, do it through a company, do it through some sort of Riverside or Zoom or whatever. You need a good company that has backup recordings to the cloud. You have to have it. You just have to. Getting back into music, really like it. Starting to get the people recommending music to me again. Evil and I are talking a lot more about music again. It just feels good. I'm just so glad. I think we needed to officially quit to realize how much I don't ever want to quit this. And I feel like I don't believe in fate, but there seems to be a little bit of kismet, because for some reason, right when I got back into this, there were a couple things that worked out to make the job a little bit easier on me. The stuff that I use, I had come out with some AI tools. Man, talk shit you want all about AI, but I think I've cut my work down on this pod about 50% since we came back, just because of the companies that I'm using doing it. It's a little bit of money, subscriptions, all that stuff. But hey, you pay for, what is it? You buy the expensive stuff because you pay for the thing. It's true that don't make any sense. So what I have found, what worked last time, is I've got about 4 albums on the 500 list, the Rolling Stone list. I've got 4 set up ready to talk about. I've got 4 songs set up ready to talk about. I don't take that much time on the songs, because once we get higher up on the list for a lot of these, it's only going to be like a couple albums an episode. one or two songs because there's going to be a lot more story on these. But for now, we're just talking this. And eventually, I'm not only going to do this on my solo episodes. There are other stuff I'm going to do. We're still going to do certain other things. We've got an episode upcoming where Evil and I are going to do a year dissection again. We haven't done a year dissection for a long time. I mean, technically last year, season 4 was all 1994. So those of you that do think or know that 1994 is the best year for music of all time, go listen to that entire season. You will like it. All right. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm about to do. I'm excited. First, I've got to get to the most important part of the day. What am I drinking? Not very exciting. I'm back on the Michelob Ultras for a while. Trying to lose some lbs, getting back into that. I think once a year I do hey, I've worked too hard and completely lost all of my health for half a year. Time to clean up. And the Michelob Ultras make me feel a little cleaner. I can crush them all day and don't get drunk. I won't crush them, okay? I'm too old for that. That's it. That's what we're doing, okay? So let's get into it. I'm excited. Really glad to be back. I think I say that at some point I have to stop saying that, and I will stop saying that. But it's just fun. I just missed music. We'll be right back. We're back. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Are we doing great? I hope so. Where are we on the Rolling Stones Top 500 Albums of All Time? We are on we're not on episode. We are on album 496, which is Donde Están las Ladrones? I'd give that a 42%. Look, it's Shakira, okay? Where are the thieves? They're everywhere, Shakira. Don't worry. They're everywhere. It is her fourth album, 98, recorded in where else but Miami, and it has gone platinum in the States. It's also sold over 1 million, I think like almost 1.5 million in Mexico, that is not an easy feat. This album has done 4 million worldwide, and it's considered an incredibly influential album among women and the LGBTQ community. So I legitimately apologize if I fucked that up. It's not for want of trying or whatever. Yeah, apparently it's a big deal in that community. People love them some Shakira, which, here's the thing. When we started this 500 thing a while back, my mic keeps lowering, having some issues today. It's going to be all right. When we started this thing, I threw the Shakira album at Rachel. Please handle this. I do not want to. Ever since I did that, I feel like Shakira as an artist has been just coming at me in waves and waves, not stopping. And I spent a little time in Miami where I did hear Shakira. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But I've spent some time with Shakira now. Shakira has just kept coming at me since then. And I gotta say, I've gone from a not interested whatsoever, super pop heavy, whatever, to Shakira is a beast. I'm pretty into it. This album is not what I thought it was going to be. This would be the first time that I've ever sat down and actually listened to a Shakira album. Tell you what, you guys, it does not suck. It is not at all what I expected. There is so much culture, so much tradition in these. I'm extremely impressed. You have tracks like No Creo, just the American, the linguistics of this episode are going to be atrocious. Just be fine with it. I'm American. I only speak English. Do not be surprised by this. There's a song playing in my head actually right now, No Creo, where she is expressing how nothing and nobody means anything to her except for her lover. There is a lot of just really, really deep passion, things that you would expect from Central South American music. A little bit of Lebanese in there. I have her heritage on here somewhere. We'll get to it. Hey, don't just rely on your notes. That is the lesson today. It's just so many podcast lessons. But by the way, what's better than somebody like Shakira singing you a song about how nothing else in the world matters to her but you, her lover? I mean, come on. We talked about it a lot when we did Moto Mami, about how there is something about music when you don't understand the lyrics, that it can mean so much more because your mind is just making up that they are saying the most beautiful, wonderful things. And I like it that way, especially nowadays, because that's not usually the case. I found out while studying for this that she did not like her first two albums at all. She kind of hated them. She's actually tried pretty fervorously to scrub them from existence. There's something very relatable in art with that, I would say, right? I would think so. There was a ton of pressure on this album. A lot of it is due to the fact that she brought on Gloria Estefan's husband to produce Something Estefan, but he's the pop master behind a lot of this stuff. And with all the pressure, not only was there pressure from her label to, hey, this is when you got to make it, but a lot of pop pressure too. So she brought on Estefan, don't remember the first name. And she comes out with this. And again, like I said, not what I expecting. There's a lot of cool Middle Eastern stuff, a little bit of, like that Lebanese heritage of hers. Ojos Así. Yes. There's a lot of cheesiness, but it's not the type of cheesiness that makes you want to run for the hills. There's extreme 90s on here. Que vuelva. This is fun. There's a really extreme 90s music on here, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to... One of the things that we've talked about a lot lately is, we've talked about it with some other stuff, there is a lot of music that I think can be considered a complaint that it's too of the times. But lately I've been experiencing a lot of music where I don't think that's a bad thing. I kind of like it. I like going back into those simpler times of the... You have songs like Sombre de Ti. There's a lot of south of the border southern folk. There's like country beauty. There's my favorite parts of an artist like this are with this deep kind of folky heritage stuff coming out. And this album is extremely strong with that. Extremely. There's this I would categorize this as I was forced to listen to it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. Here's the thing though. I'm in the Shakira camp listening to this, but I'm scared because I feel like if I go on and I listen to her other stuff, it's just going to get more and more mainstream, more and more poppy until we are to the point where it's no longer interesting. But if we're just talking about this album, right? If we're just talking about Where Are the Thieves? Awesome. Totally into it. Should we do some awards and categories? 70 million Jackson fans, can't be wrong. I would say that maybe the fact that I hated then loved it. I don't think that there are many pockets of people that are discovering Shakira. I think you either like her or you don't like her. You're either one of those pop forward or Latin music loving people, or you're not. But this grew on me at the age of 40 something, and I think that that's cool. What's Love Got to Do with It award? I'll put it like this. This album makes me respect her a ton more. I guess, I don't know if it doesn't make me like it less or more. It made me study her, which makes me respect her more. And I just respect what's coming on this album. So I would say that while I don't like this album more or less because of the artist, I like the artist more because of this album. That's how I'll put it. The DMX award. What makes it unique? You know what I love is how obsessively, psychotically backed female Central American vocalists are by their public. I mean, Selena, Shakira, whoever else I'm not thinking of, they come out in droves. They are the Taylor Swifts before Taylor Swifts of just, they're not even pop stars. They're queens. And they're treated like queens. Just really eloquent today. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm tired, all right? The Mark Lanigan Award, she came from extremely humble beginnings, from Colombia, actually, so apologies. I'm saying Central America. Hey, can I just keep leaning on my American, naivete? Lebanese father, Colombian mother, financial, extremely poor. They faced financial ruin for one thing and another. They always struggled with money. It's the typical rock star. I come from an incredibly poor community, extremely humble family. I worked my ass off. I had a dream. I insisted on that dream, and it happened. You don't get more not American world dream than that. I don't know. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. I would say properly rated in its time and underrated now. I think Shakira is thought about as hips don't lie, whatever, wherever, pop, genius, brilliant person. She comes from this. I like this. It's underrated, but talk more about this album. Play more of this album, and I would listen to it way more. I don't listen to the radio. That's a lie. Then never mind the Books Award. I haven't listened to any of her albums. My guess is that I would prefer this album over a lot of her other ones, but unfair to say, because like I said, all I know is radio and this album. The No Dude Seriously Award. Ciega, sorta muda. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. It sneaks in there for people that do like the radio pop stuff. That's the stuff where you can say, oh, okay, this isn't going to be popular on one specific billboard. This is going to be popular on the John Popper Award for Best Hook. Ciego, again, look, this album is hook after hook after hook, but a Ciega is just the best one. John Prine Best Lyric Award. Let's see, what did I write? Everything is Hot Because It's Not Mine. The Eddie Van Halen Award. No Creo Chorus is an amazing chorus, but ironically, spoilers, that's also my least favorite song on the album. So I guess it doesn't make that much sense, but that's okay. It is an extremely well put together album for the Surfer Rosa Award. There's no A-side, B-side, this sort of thing. It's well put together. But the Time of Your Life Award for me is No Creo, just because it's I almost feel like it's trying too hard. I don't know. I don't really hate anything on this album. That's the thing. I had to really think about the Time of Your Life Award because I kind of like all of it. And the three best songs on the album, Donde Está Las Ladrones, Something About the Thieves. We've already covered that. Song number 2 is 2. And my favorite song on the album is Ojos Así. Anything that's heavy on the culture, I'm going to be really, really into. Does it belong on the 500 list, and do I own it? Hey, I'm a believer. I do think it belongs, and possibly even higher up, depending on if anything else is on there and if I listen to it and if I like it. I do not own this album vinyl. I'd bargain bin it for sure. I don't know if Shakira's a bargain. Yeah, I bet someday I see this in a bargain bin and I bet you I buy it. How about that? Rating the album, I will give this album I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's not at all what I thought it would be, but it's a total win. And that's why I love doing this so much. I like Shakira, okay? It took me 40 something years to admit or agree or understand that I like Shakira. And that's why doing this is so freaking fun. All right, moving on to album 480. No, we're not there yet, Deal. Nice try. For 95, we've got 2 by Boyz II Men, the coolest album by far on here so far. We have actually talked about Boyz II Men on the podcast before. We have talked about this album too. Sven Knutson and I believe season 1, 2 by Boyz II Men. Go on to Verse Chorus Verse, the beautiful podcast, and listen to it. Go listen to that episode. Find out why 2 by Boyz II Men is such a fantastic album and meant so much to me at a very young age. In 1994 is the release of this, their third album. 94, telling you, pretty good year. This came out through Motown. Just feels right that it came out through Motown. This went 12 times platinum in the States. This sold a lot. And you know why when you go through the singles on this. Every single single, Jesus, there's Childhood. Jesus, there's early 90s. Oh my God, that was played in everybody's school dances in the world. I mean, this is a very stereotypical young, early 90s, super horny young man album. 50 Candles and I'll Make Love to You and All Around the World. It's smooth and it's suave and it's Boyz II Men and it's me. This was one of the first concerts I went to with I remember, so a lot of interesting things actually about this concert. First off, they were opening for Hammer in the Too Legit to Quit tour. Okay. Because of some personal things in the family that had happened, we were actually set up to meet Hammer that night. He was going to meet us and talk to us and give us autographs and all that fun stuff, which didn't end up happening because he came late. So I don't know, Reverend Hammer, you didn't care that much, did you? Anyway, Boyz II Men opened. My aunt and my father had taken us, and we're, she's 11, I'm 12, that sort of thing. And I just remembered there is one part of the concert where they're singing one of their very sexual songs, and they just break down in the middle and just start absolutely dry humping their microphone stands, and the crowd goes insane. And that, I just love childhood embarrassment like that for the adults and the kids. That's just so fun. It was a very, very embarrassing moment. It was really cool. There is a spoken track on this called Khalil that is a tribute to their road manager who was shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois in 92. So after Motown Philly, that was while the group was opening for Hammer, I think. I think that was maybe the same tour, which means that was 92, which means we were more like 9 and 10, which makes the embarrassment even funnier. Look, producer Babyface, also on this, Water Runs Dry, I'll Make Love to You. The reasons, one of the big reasons this went platinum 12 times, Babyface. He was the Rick Rubin of 90s R&B. He could not write something that wasn't perfect, It's just, this album is so, we're talking about of the times, right? This song could not be more extreme. This album, not a big surprise. I mean, when you think of Boyz II Men, what do you think of? You think of a very, very specific time in life and the world. And that's kind of this album. You want early R&B, that's not fair. That's not this album. You want early R&B that is just drenched in absolute amazing talent. That's what I'll say. These Boyz II Men are just so incredibly talented. They were insane. We'll talk about it. They were the third artist to actually replace themselves in the US for #1 hit, besides Elvis Presley and the Beatles. Only other artist. I'm sure now that's changed. Taylor Swift has probably done it a ton. There's new artists that I'm sure have done it a lot. Fucking Drake. Gross. Let's get to awards and categories for 2. 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. What am I alone about in this album? I will tell you what I'm alone about in this album, and that is that thinking that Thank You, the starting song, is by far the best song on this album. I don't care about the huge radio hits, Water Runs Dry, I'll Make Love to You, whatever the other ones were, On Bended Knee. Oh man, so many broken-hearted junior high kids at their dances or whatever. Thank You is by far the best song on this album. That's where I'm probably alone on this. The What's Love Got to Do with It award, less or more for the artist. I love Boyz II Men. Boyz II Men hit me at a perfect age. They were, for a point in time, for a year or two, they were one of my favorite artists that existed. I was a weird kid. I was listening to either Alice in Chains or Boyz II Men. That's just how it was. But this was just the perfect music at the perfect age at my perfect age. And again, the talent, like, what is it about a cool a cappella group that you wouldn't want to cheer for, right? Which goes right into the DMX award. An a cappella group. Come on, man. This is an a cappella group. This is not these R&B. This is Four Tops that we're talking about, This is let's get to that in influences and influencees after we talk about the Mark Lanigan True Rockstar Award. Like I said, man, this was drenched in sex. This is like dry humping mic stands at their concerts. You get that low baritone voice guy. I mean, they were rock stars. I'm sure that they were getting some action. Overrated, properly rated, underrated. I would say properly rated in its time. It was one of the perfect albums of a time, and it sold millions and millions of albums. So definitely not underrated, but I don't think overrated. And currently maybe a bit forgotten because it's so of the times. So I'm going to say it's properly rated currently because I think, people of a certain age are still going to remember these songs. And if they come on in a bar, you're going to hear, 40-year-olds be like, holy shit. But some things are okay to just keep in their time. Influences and influencees. Like I said, this is where I'm going to give you, the Temptations and the Four Tops and Smokey Robinson and Al Green. These That's what I love about this music is it's 90s, but the influences aren't, some sort of just old school influences. That's what I should say. And they were copied a lot too. So as far as influencees, I think there were a lot of copiers. For the Nevermind the Bullocks Award, I guess it's their best album. I know, I don't remember what their first album was. Just something like Cooley High Harmony, something like that. I mean, Motown Philly, right? But the album, if you go and listen to the album, from what I remember, it definitely wasn't as good as this. And I don't think they had the production power. I don't think they had the manpower. I think there was a shit ton of money behind this one that there wasn't on the last one. No, dude, seriously. I'm going to give their cover of Yesterday. I feel like you give their cover of Yesterday to anyone, any age, old or young, they're going to respect it. They're going to love it. They're going to think, wow, the talent. That's amazing. John Popper Award for Best Hook. I'm going to go Water Runs Dry with the orchestra playing and they're hitting their notes and everybody's going to cry. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, I'm sticking with the bass singer. Every time the low voice man starts doing his girl talk. Hey girl, I think about you all the time, girl. Please come back. How do you not love that? I mean, it's very, very... It's very 90s, that's for sure. The Eddie Van Halen Award. I just talked about Thank You. There's the acapella breakdown and Thank You, much like they did in Motown Philly. Anytime a group like this does that, come on, man. How do you not love it? Surfer Rose Award, it's very top-heavy, but here's what's funny is their huge, huge, huge hits are on the back of this album. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if they just didn't think that those were actually going to be hits because they were too slow, or if they knew that, and so they were trying to put some of the lesser-known songs on the front of the album and just hope that they got played more. I don't know. The Time of Your Life Award, unfortunately for me, there's quite a few. There's a lot of filler on this album. There's a lot of samey songs and a lot of, I'll go with Sit Away, but it could have easily been Trying Times or 50 Candles or Vibin'. I just don't, it's not... There's a lot of filler, I'll just say that. But the three best songs on the album, number 3, I'm going Jezebel. That's a cool fucking song, man. Come on, it's just hip, very hip. Number 2, Water Runs Dry. It's cheesy, but man, it's an incredibly beautiful song. I love the orchestra in it. And then number 1, I already said it, is Thank You. Thank You is an incredible song. It's the best song on the album. Does it belong on the 500 albums of all time and would I own it? I think it does belong on the 500. At the end of this, I'll tell you my rankings. I do not own it. I don't think I would buy this vinyl. I just can't think of a time where I would turn this on and want to listen to it as far as a vinyl. I'd love to slap on Thank You and groove to it, but it's more of a turn it on the phone with the Bluetooth speaker. Listen, sorry guys. I'll still give this, look, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. There's so much amazing stuff. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap this album. But I can't give it any lower than an 8 out of 10 due to its talent, its uniqueness with the 4-man group in the 90s doing amazingly talented a cappella, and just how much it defines a certain culture of a certain time. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And there we go. There's Boyz II Men's 2. Let's go to album 494 and then we'll take a little break. Album number 494, Presenting the Fabulous Ronettes featuring Veronica by the Ronettes. You see it behind me, right? For those of you that didn't watch the YouTube, which was, let's see, if we have 7,000-ish listeners an episode and about 50 of you watched the YouTubes, a high percentage of you did not check out the YouTubes. However, what you may have remembered is that on episode 114, verse, chorus, verse, I did an episode on Ronnie Spector, otherwise known as Veronica, the featured artist on this album. So go back and listen to episode 114 if you want to hear her story, because I'm telling you, it's absolutely fascinating. It's amazing. This is another one of those where I did a YouTube on it. I was like, hey, this is talent, but I'm never going to listen to it. But it just kept coming back to me and nagging me. And I realized that it was amazing. And then I've learned more about her story and Phil Spector's sort of stuff, and I just became obsessed with it. Now this album is, out of the last 3 years, I've probably talked about and gone back to this album most, like top 5 of any other albums in that I've gotten from the podcast. It's extremely 50s and 60s doo-wop. It's first off, it's Ronnie Spector, it's Estelle, and it's Nedra. They're all cousins. That was the Ronettes. Phil Spector discovered them. Mr. Wall of Sound himself, psycho, murdering, went to prison. Phil Spector. And yes, Ronnie Spector married him. It became a whole thing, kidnapping, blah, blah, blah. Once again, go listen to episode 114. She came out with a memoir, too, that I read before the episode called Be My Baby, which is a fantastic memoir. Go read that. But yeah, this was 1964. It was Phil Spector. It was, first off, it's a compilation. So it's not going to get a 10 out of 10. Okay, let's just be okay with that. But that's kind of what they did back then. And Phil Spector wasn't an album producer. He was a hits producer. He was, back then, a record wasn't an album. It wasn't an A-side, B-side. A record was a single, a hit that was going to play on the radio all the time. And that's what this was. It was just a mishmash of amazing singles. Just go listen to my review, all right? And question why my opinion changed so much. They toured with the Beatles. When they toured with the Beatles, my God, the Beatles loved them. Lennon was just head over heels in love with Ronnie Spector. It's fun. You know what you should do is you should go listen to episode 114 of Verse, Chorus, Verse. And that's where I'm going to leave this. It's a great album. It's a compilation. Let's get to 70 Million Jackson Fans Can't Be Wrong. I think people of our age falling in love with the Ronettes when I did. It's kind of what I was talking about with Shakira a little bit. I'm at far too weird of an age to fall in love with a band like the Ronettes, and yet here we are, and I have. The What's Love Got to Do With It award, it's more. I love this music way more because of the artist. This artist, the Ronettes grew up in Spanish Harlem. They forced their way into the industry. Their story is fantastic. Ronnie Spector is just, go watch interviews with her, go watch her perform. Just fucking firecracker. Impossible not to completely fall in love with her. Impossible. The DMX award, what makes this artist unique? They were the prime Wall of Sound group. They were the group, when Ronnie Spector went in and started singing in the studio, Phil Spector said he just broke down because that was the voice that he had been searching for as a producer his whole life. This was the pinnacle Wall of Sound. This was the group that the Wall of Sound was built around. If you don't know what the Wall of Sound is, you should go to episode 114 of Verse, Chorus, Verse and learn it. The Mark Lanigan True Rockstar Award. So you had at the same time, you had artists like the Supremes, right? Incredible. They would show up, they would be in their ball gowns, and they would sing this beautiful music. Diana Ross would kill it. The Ronettes from Spanish Harlem, they would show up in their very short skirts and wiggle a little bit. They knew what was going to sell, and they were very, very comfortable with using that. It's pretty rock star. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. I think it was properly rated in the time because it was incredibly popular. Currently, maybe a bit forgotten, maybe underrated. I mean, no, you know what? I'm going to say underrated because nobody talks about the Ronettes. I mean, if you are talking about this classic of music, you're hearing about the Supremes. You're not hearing about the Ronettes. Influences and influencees, it's a lot of this. You know what's funny? It's a lot of the same people that I said about Boyz II Men. The Temptations, they were their own influences, damn it. Never mind the Bullocks Award. Yeah, they didn't really, this was kind of their album. So there's nothing really else to go off to. The No Dude Seriously Award. Be My Baby. Everybody knows Be My Baby. Everybody loves Be My Baby. If they find out it's on this album, they're going to go, oh, yeah, let me listen to the rest of it. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. The hook for Walking in the Rain is beautiful and fun and amazing, and I like it. The John Prine Best Lyric Award. This is ooh, ooh, baby, I love you, I miss you, please be my baby. In fact, I'm going to incorporate my Time of Your Life award with this and say that there's definitely a worst lyric on it, and that is the entire song of So Young, which has aged beyond poorly. That is basically saying that all I want to do is just marry a man and settle down, and I can't because I'm too young, and it's the only thing I want to do. It's pretty gross. So that would be my worst lyric and worst song on the album. The Eddie Van Halen Award, what I would say is that is actually, they have an edition of What I Say by Ray Charles on this. The vibe is just, if you listen to the vibe is so good. The energy of the people at the recording and everything was amazing. Look, What I Say will never be their song. That will be Ray Charles' song. And also, I would say, if you're going to listen to What I Say, why on earth would you listen to any other edition but Ray Charles? But the vibe and what they're doing in the recording is so good that it's definitely worth you checking out. Surfer Rose Award is a compilation, so I'm not even dignifying that with a response. And the best 3 songs on the album, Walking in the Rain, I guess, You Baby, and Be My Baby. It's not, you turn this on, you know what you're getting into. You're going to like it. There's nothing that you're going to not like. You're not going to hate any song. That's it. Does it belong on the 500 albums of all time? Yes, it does. The Ronettes deserve to be represented. In spite of Phil Spector having to do with it, hey, it's still a great album. And do I own the vinyl? I do. We've been through that. I wasn't going to. I said in my first review that I would never own this vinyl. Well, he's silly. And 8 out of 10. It's a comp. It's Phil Spector. Just go listen to the history. Go listen to episode 114 of Verse, Chorus, Verse. And then take your break. And then come back with me. Hi, everybody. We're back. You know what I hate about doing these episodes by myself? I'm going to tell you. I hate that I have to talk. I hate that I can't stop talking. I don't get to drink as much. That's it. I don't get to drink as much. I have to just keep talking. It's bullshit. Should we get to 493 on the Rolling Stone list of bestest ever? This is one that might cause an issue later on down the line. I'm not sure. This is 493, and it's Hear My Dear by the Marvin Gaye. Love Marvin Gaye. Who doesn't love Martin Gaye? Martin Gaye. Who doesn't love Martin Gaye? Hear My Dear is his 14th studio album. 14th, man. This was released as a double album in 70 on Motown. This was recorded in between 77 and 78 in Marvin Gaye Studios in LA. Yes, at this time he had his own studio. Okay. This was focused largely on his divorce with Ann Gordy. And this is where this was not acclaimed when it first came out. Not only was it not acclaimed when it first came out, but Marvin Gaye himself basically said, I'm not going to put shit into this album. This album is going to just end up, all of my royalties for this album are going to end up going to my ex-wife in settlement. So why should I even try? Very, very angry divorce talk. Not a really good recipe for the making of an album, which I'm not going to call this album boring. It's Marvin Gaye. You're going to have a fun time listening to Marvin Gaye. You're going to have a fun time listening to the band, and the band is so goddamn talented, but nothing in this album speaks to me at all. This was considered a huge cash grab because of the divorce, and that's why in the Times nobody liked it. Now, as time has gone on, the reviews have gone up. A lot of people are saying that this was just misunderstood in the time. It's actually a little bit ahead of its time, and it's amazing. I don't see that. I personally think that it's just because it's Marvin Gaye, and what you don't call anything that Marvin Gaye did not good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not. This was his 14th studio album, right? He came out, what did he come out with? 21 albums, something like that. This is not in the top 10 of what I listened to with Marvin Gaye. I'm never going to turn this on. I'm never going to buy this, spoilers, because there's just so much other amazing stuff, including, I think, a top 5 on the Rolling Stone list album that's one of the best, if not the best, soul albums of all time. You know, this was a quick recording, nothing heavy, nothing good. Why should I break my neck? That's his quote. Why should I break my neck listening to it? Now, here's the thing. A lot of the people that made this album did say that, look, once he started actually working on it, it's not in Marvin Gaye's personality. It's not in him to half-ass something, to cash grab something. That's not what happened. Once he did start working on the album, he really worked on it. He got heavily involved, and he ended up being, he ended up trying really hard. I understand that. I just don't, maybe it's just the emotions expressed in this, which is this kind of this doled down, maybe drugged up divorce depression Marvin Gaye. I love him. I don't love this album. There's just no peaks. There's a lot of valleys. There's a lot of struggle. I just don't love this album, guys. And that's where I'm standing. 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I don't like it. It's kind of blasphemy to say you don't like Marvin Gaye. Maybe that's where I'm on the island. But I do like Marvin Gaye. But we've been through this. What's love got to do with it? If anything, because of how amazing so much of Marvin Gaye's work is, this makes me like it less because you expect so much more from Marvin Gaye. Now, the DMX award, the uniqueness is that it's Marvin Gaye. It's Marvin fucking Gaye. Not just the vocal talent, but the brilliance of timeliness and knowing what fits where as a vocalist. He was second to none in that sort of thing. And you still get that in this album. Mark Lanigan, True Rockstar Award. Hey, Marvin Gaye went through a couple really bad divorces. He was notoriously not great with his wives. He was very much a rock star, and it led to a lot of things, including how he died. The overrated, underrated, properly rated, I think it's properly rated in both times. I think it's properly rated in the past as people just didn't love it. And I think it's properly rated now and more people love it because it's Marvin Gaye. I'm okay with that. Influences and influencees. Marvin Gaye's influences they're on the wall. We just talked about Ray Charles, Sarah Vaughan, Sam Cooke, Benny King. I mean, it's Marvin Gaye, guys. I don't know if you knew this, but we're talking about Marvin Gaye. The Nevermind the Bollocks Award, is this his best album? I don't even need to answer that. Then no. Dude, seriously award. Look, here. I like Anger. Anger's a good 4-minute funky on the one. Marvin's doing his kind of light falsetto thing. I'll say Anger. On here I said I don't care, but that's not fair. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. It's not hook type music. It's mood stuff. You don't get hooks. You just get a consistent drive of funk is what you get. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, When Did You Stop Loving Me? When Did I Stop Loving You? That's a song title on this, and that is a great song title. I love that song title. The Eddie Van Halen Award, I'm giving it to the horns in the whole fucking album. His band was also second to none at the time, and their horn section was, god dang, his horn section was tight and amazing, and I love the horns through this whole thing. They're soft and they're methodical. The Surfer Rosa Award, this is a steady, slow, this is not no secret to the way that this album was built. The Time of Your Life Award, Anna's song doesn't give me anything at all. Anna was the name of his wife he was divorcing. Like, be a little less, come on, Marvin. And best songs of the album, Falling in Love Again is Good Gay. It's funky on the one, smooth shit. A Funky Space Reincarnation. Hey, make more of the album like that. You got yourself a bigger fan of this album. And When Did You Stop Loving Me is just these great major minor switches. You know me, I'm a sucker for that. Aren't we all? Does it belong on the 500 and do I own it? I'm saying no and no. I shouldn't say no and no. I should say I'm not going to own it. I think there are at the very least 5 blatantly better Marvin Gaye albums. 3 off the top of my head that are better than this, that better be on the 500 list. I know one of them is. I really hope that another one is. And so I'm going to say potentially no, depending on what else is on this list. Rate this album 6 out of 10. I'm sorry. Giving Marvin Gaye a 6 out of 10. I'm not going to make any friends. I feel like some people got to understand where I'm coming from though, right? Where are we at? So that's 8 albums so far on the Rolling Stone 500. Where are we at so far? From the first recording of these, I've got Shaka Khan and Ask Rufus. It was, look, incredible talent, but those albums were a dime a dozen at the time. And I'm just not a fan of, hey, there's the star and there's the band in the back. I just don't love that stuff. Number 7 so far is Here, My Dear, Marvin Gaye that we just talked about. Number 6 is Suicide, probably surprising to a lot of people that I'm not a bigger fan of that album, but even I am like, okay, come on, give it a break. Number 5, Shakira. Yeah. Number 5 is, hey, I like it, man. I like it. Number 4, Boyz II Men. Really hard time deciding between Shakira and Boyz II Men, but Boyz II Men just, it's so of the time. It's such a symbol of something specific. Number 3, the Beats of Soweto. God damn, I love that. I surprised myself that I have gone back to that a couple times since I did the episode and have listened to it. It's so fun to listen to. Number 2 so far, The Ronettes. It's a compilation, So Sue Me. Again, these are favorites, not best. The Ronettes I love. And number 1 still is the 10 out of 10, thanks to you guys, Funeral by Arcade Fire. All right, those are the albums so far. Let me know what you think. Let me know how crazy I am, if I'm spot. Let me know how smart I am and how well I'm doing with this. That's what you should let me know. Deal? Deal. Should we do 4 songs? There's nothing groundbreaking on this one. There is one of my favorite songs on here, but it's not, it is what it is. I love that saying. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that. My 2 favorite sayings in the world, whatever, and it is what it is. Number 496. On the Rolling Stone, greatest songs of all time, one of the worst lists I've ever seen is Without You by Harry Nilsson. First off, he didn't write it. So that's another one of those. It's like a compilation. It's like, he didn't write it. What are we doing here? You know, I can't live if living is without the people that wrote the song not being on the list. I don't understand. Harry Nilsson was a big time performer, lots of really good songs. He did Lime and the Coconut. Come on, we all like that. Without You is a very, very 70s soundtrack song. It'd be remade in the 80s. It'd be remade in the 90s. 4 more soundtracks. It is impossible not to make this song sound unruly. Unruly is absolutely a terrible word to use for it. It's just unconditionally cheesy. That's what I was going for. Paul McCartney is on record as saying that this song bangs like no banger that ever banged. Paul McCartney, it figures. The master of pop writing fucking loved this song. He is just Harry Nilsson is a very Randy Newman, not Randy Newman. Randy Newman is too funky and different. He's very American songbook, and this is a very American songbook song. I can feel it. I can feel in late 70s and 80s that somebody couldn't live if living wasn't without this song. But that's all I really have to say about the song. You know it. It's not. There's nothing groundbreaking here. It's fine. I mean, what's love got to do with it? I am very mid on Henry Nilsson. See, I can't even say his name. Harry Nilsson. I don't love Harry Nilsson. I don't dislike Harry Nilsson. Like I said, he's got some awesome songs, but I'm not going to kill for him. Brain Pleaser Award. What on this song really pleases my brain? I mean, it's the chorus, right? Some things work for a reason, and I can't live if living isn't without this chorus. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. It's properly rated. It's not massive. It's not massive, but you know, you turn it on and everybody will start singing that chorus with you. The Royals Award. Is this the artist's best song, and is it close? I mean, look, he's got an album called Harry Schmidt. I think it's Harry Schmilson or something like that. You know, Nelson Schmilson. This is like the 4th best song on that album. So definitely not. Rickroll, is the song overplayed? Yes. I would say that at a time, this song was extremely overplayed. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, I can't live with living. There's no amazing lyric here. The album setup. This is later on the album, which is good. I'm pro that it's later on the album. So I will say yes, it's good setup on there. Best song on the album? No, it's not. And rating it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's exactly what it should be. And I guess that's it, right? Yeah, I'm not going to spend very much time on that. Sorry. I just don't. Some of these, I can't do that on all of them, right? We're okay with that. Let's go on to 495, You're So Vain by Carly Simon. All right. Okay. Here is my question on Carly Simon's You're So Vain. Is it witty or is it lame? It's witty, and I hate why it's witty. Because it is indeed about the person that it's about. That's what always frustrated me about this song is you probably think the song is about you. It is about him. So what the fuck are we talking about? Who are we trying to fool here? What point are you making with this Carly Simon? Carly Simon is cool, but let's make all the enemies. I've always thought Carly Simon was pretty fucking overrated. I think she was of a certain time. And because of that, you know, there was this weird Brady Bunch era of artists that were just kind of like it is now. There's a lot of annoying fucking artists that are good, but they're no Harry Nilsson, you know. Write a song like All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe to Love You. That is a good Harry Nilsson song. Go listen to that. That's some good shit. What's love got to do with an award? I guess more for this artist, because I've always kind of, not actively, but I've not liked Carly Simon. I've just always been extremely more unimpressed than impressed with her. And at least this song is like witty and it's kind of cool. The actual like build and the chord progression and stuff, that's kind of cool. So I do kind of like that. Brain Pleaser Award, it is fun. It's very, I see why it was so loved. It is a very Taylor Swift-esque, trying too hard to be witty type of, like, definitely sat down and, you know, wrote a line and then smirked at how smart they were, that type of artist. But it is witty, and I'll say it's properly rated both ways. It's not seen as some incredible moving song, but everybody knows it. The Royals Award, is it their best song? I don't know, because I just don't listen to much Carly Simon. I'm never going to. Am I alone on this? Am I missing something on Carly Simon, or is she just one of the more meh artists out there that maybe people shouldn't give their time to? Rickroll Song, is this song overplayed? I don't hear it that much, honestly. I don't think it is. Maybe if you go to like karaoke a bunch or something like that, girls are going to sing it. I don't know. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, You Watched Yourself Gavotte. That's amazing. You're really trying to rhyme with that, but I love that line. That line's fucking fantastic. The album Set Up, this was a single, so that doesn't count. Is this the best song on the album? Well, yeah, because it was a single. And I'll give it a 7 out of a 10. A 7 out of a 10. A 7 out of 10. It's doing what it's doing, and it's doing it well. It is a witty, fun girl song to empower, and what's wrong with that, right? That's it. Now here we go. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. Okay, everybody. Here's maybe another one of the problems I have with this list. But I guess I understand it. I just feel like this song, we'll talk about it. Song number 494, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. This came out in early 83. She's So Unusual. Rick Chertoff introduced her to Rob Hyman. And let's see where we get. So a lot of this album had already been recorded when Hyman became involved and kind of pushed more, you know, like Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Sheba, all that had already been done, had already been recorded. But they said we're missing something here. There is a missing song on this album that we need. We need something else that's big. And they came up with Time After Time. And come on, man. This song isn't fucking incredible. This song, I think 494 is pretty fucking low for Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. Look, here's something to remember about Cyndi Lauper that I think we forget about. Early 80s, it was important to be cool. And I'm not saying, not that it isn't important to be cool now, but there was an extreme apathetic view into different things in the early 80s. If you were different, it wasn't cool. It is, you know, being different now, it's unique, it's interesting. Back then, when you were doing the things that Cyndi Lauper was doing in school, you were bullied, you were beat up on, you got rocks thrown at you, like she talked about. She was always unapologetically herself, and she didn't give a fuck how bullied she was. She didn't start dressing a certain way because she got bullied. She didn't give a fuck. Instead, she just kept being her and got famous for it. And that's why Cyndi Lauper is amazing. Everybody should absolutely love Cyndi Lauper. And we don't talk about her that much on the pod. I don't know that we've ever talked about her on the pod, but I am a huge Cyndi Lauper fan. I love her. You know, what is it? Girls Just Want to Have Fun. You know, that song was written for her and she changed the lyrics to it. So Girls Just Want to Have Fun was basically written for her, and the lyrics she completely changed the lyrics because she hated them. And she made it more of a girls' empowerment, you know, mother dear, we're not the unfortunate one sort of lines. She changed the whole thing. That was just who she was. She's a fucking beast. She's not fucking dead. Cyndi Lauper deserves every bit of fame that she got. And I just like her. Which, you know, what's love got to do with it? Duh. It's Cyndi Lauper. She's amazing. And I love her, and we should all love her. Brain Pleaser Award, for me, it's the very first 5 seconds. When you hear when you hear it start to come on, you know immediately what it is, and you are so glad it's on because you want to hear Cyndi Lauper tell you that she is going to be there waiting time after time. Okay? Overrated, underrated, properly rated. It was loved then, it's loved now. The Royals Award, is it the artist's best song? It might be for me. But it's too close to, she had a lot of really good songs, man. So it's definitely not a best song by far sort of thing that working with. Is this song overplayed? No. This is not the type of song that First off, it's you don't hear it much anymore. Second off, it's kind of one of those songs that you can just hear and hear and hear. I'm not going to get sick of Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. Maybe back in the 80s, maybe when a lot of people were probably singing this way too much, but no. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, let's look it up. What's the whole second verse? Sometimes you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me, I can't hear what you said. Then you say, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. That's great. Great writing. It's really good writing. Well done, Cyndi. The album setup, I think it's perfect. It's at number 4. It's a good cool down. I'd prefer it at 6, personally. I think that big of a cool down that means that much. You don't want it bat and clean up. You want it a little bit farther down the line where it really sticks with you and forces you into that last half. That's just the musical engineer in me. Is it the best song on the album? I'll say probably, but that whole album is so good, and it will be covered on the pod at some point. I guarantee you. She's So Unusual will be covered. We need to talk about Cyndi. We need to do that. Maybe we do that this year. Rate the song. I'm giving Time After Time a 10 out of 10. Who in their right mind doesn't want to hear Cyndi Lauper tell you that she's going to be right there waiting for you? Okay? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And that brings us to number 493. Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. There's never been a big stink about the Pixies beyond the obvious, everybody mentions them for every influence in rock and roll past the 90s, past the late 80s, I should say. But you don't, obviously this song got huge after Fight Club, well deserved. But this was this is track 7 on Surfer Rosa. It was a B-side, which, hey, that's an award of ours, It's just not much has ever been given about this song by the Pixies because I don't think there's that much to give, and it was never really something that they got pushed on that much because it wasn't one of their massive things, maybe until Fight Club. It was written by Black back when he was in Massachusetts. Let's see. He was scuba diving in the Caribbean, and this is where this came from. There were little fish trying to chase him, and he wrote this song. It's just very Pixies. There isn't some big, huge, deep meaning behind it. It just, Joey Santiago composed it with one line. Like you hear the guitar, and it was just the first thing he tried was this lazy arpeggio thing, and it just sounded hooky. And they kept it. It's Pixies. It's the fucking Pixies. And that's what makes the song so fucking perfect. Beyond the fact that it's just amazingly written and it sticks in your head forever. Every single part, not just the guitar or his singing or the weird falsetto thing going on in the background or the simplicity of it. It's an amazing, amazing fucking song. And it scares me that it's at 493. What's Love Got to Do with It award? Look, it's the Pixies. Brain Pleaser award, the entire song. I do love this. I love how it starts. I love the first little falsetto. You hear Black go, stop. And then you break into it with the acoustic guitar sitting in there too. It's the whole song pleases your brain. It's properly rated in its time because it was the Pixies and it wasn't supposed to be popular. God damn it. And it's popular now because it took a while for people to understand how amazing the Pixies were, and they did, and they have ever since. All right? I don't know who led the charge on, wait, the Pixies are the best thing ever. The older Nirvana fans or what? But it happened. The Royals Award, is this their best song? I don't think so. I think, here's how I'll say it. If somebody came up to me and said, I don't know the Pixies, is it their best song ever? Where's My Mind? I'd want to say yes, but there are so many songs that I love by the Pixies on this album alone. The entire, I was going to say the entire first side, the entire album. I just can't say it's their best song because so many of them are so good. Rickroll, is the song overplayed? I'll say it was overplayed. Fight Club made this song one of those songs that like every band redid. You'd go to a club, you'd go to a bar, and the band, whatever band was playing, was going to play the fucking song. I would say that there was a time where this was overplayed, maybe not so much now. John Prine Best Lyric Award. I love Black always does this thing where he just fits whatever words he wants to into the song. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals are hiding under the rocks. Yeah. And there was a little fish. Like he does not give a shit about syncopation. He's going to shove it in there. That's what she said. I love that. The album setup, it's track 7. Sure. Why not? Is it the best song on the album? I already answered this. Maybe, but there's so much good on this album. Are you telling me that Gigantic isn't better? Oh my golly. Tony's theme, every other song, I don't know. Rate the song, it's a fucking 10 out of 10, damn it. Where's my mind not a 10 out of 10 song? I don't believe you. All right, where are we at with the top songs so far? Harry Nilsson's Without You, it just doesn't do it for me. Putting it below Truth Hurts by Lizzo. Truth Hurts is catchy, I admit it. I don't like Lizzo, who cares? Poncho and Lefty, it's just, I get it. Brilliant songwriting. The song just doesn't get me. You're So Vain, you're witty, maybe not memorable. Stronger by Kanye West. It's good. Baby Love, which was below Truth Hurts. It's fucking Baby Love. And then Time After Time and Where Is My Mind, which are both 10 out of 10 songs. And I'm very scared to see what's going to be put above those. It's going to be gross, everybody. And that's it. We've done it. We've talked about 8 albums. We've talked about 8 songs on the Rolling Stone 500s lists, and I feel good about it. VerseCourseFirst.com at VerseCourseFirstPod. Join us next week. I think what's happening, is Evil and I are doing a good old-fashioned album exchange. That is right. A little bit of rock and a little bit of punk for you, so stay tuned for that. I am excited. Have I told you that I'm glad I'm back? And go read Be My Baby, the Spectre memoir. God, it's good. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Write me, send me an Instagram, send me an email. I don't get as many as I used to because maybe you guys are scared I'm going to quit again. I'm not. I'm here. I promise. Good night, everybody, and good luck. I'm going to go listen to the Pixies and Cyndi Lauper. I'm going to do that right now. Bye, guys.